Hello students, today we'll talk about Aristotle, a great philosopher who is popularly known as father of political science. But his philosophical thought, his critical observation, his analytical approach towards life and society was not confined to, was not restricted to politics only. He contributed a lot to the world of art and literature. In this video, we will discuss about Aristotle with reference to literary criticism, with reference to the creation of arts, and especially with reference to the formulation of literature. So, students, let's get ourselves introduced with Aristotle. This great Greek philosopher is known as famous disciple of another great master, Plato, with whom you are all must be familiar with. Plato is known as the first philosopher who gave a formal and systematic shape to criticism. Here, students, look at the word criticism carefully and don't get into any wrong interpretation of that term, criticism. I have discussed in detail in my previous video what does criticism mean. I am reiterating, I am repeating it that criticism is not to criticize, it is to analyze meticulously. And Plato's meticulous analysis, his key ideas, his analytical views about philosophical thought are collected in his masterpiece texts. There are two texts. They are one is Dialogues and another is Republic. Aristotle followed his teacher. He followed his guru's systematic approach, but he was not an idealist like Plato. In Aristotle, in his ideology towards creative arts, we find a fine balance in comparison to Plato's view or Plato's attitude or Plato's response towards the arts. Aristotle, the famous student of Plato, was also the teacher of the well-known king of Macedonia, who attempted to conquer the world. He was Alexander the Great. You all must be familiar with. Students, being an erudite scholar, Aristotle possessed the knowledge of various disciplines, from ethics to aesthetics, from art to rhetoric, from politics to economics. He covered everything. So, he is rightly called encyclopedia of knowledge. His wide-ranging thoughts are considered the foundation stones of Western critical thought. Students, as I have explained that Aristotle's writings covered an extensively wide range of subjects, and fortunately many of them survived, and one of them is poetics. We as students of literature are to study his views on art and literature, and his views on art are there in the form of poetics, which is known as a landmark in literary critical studies. Whenever there is any discussion about understanding of literature, about framing of literature, or about formulation of literature, it begins with Aristotle and his views on concept of poetry as explained in Poetics. So, I think there is no exaggeration of the fact if we call this text an iconic text in the field of literary criticism. Students, actually Poetics was not planned to be written as a book. It rather consists of jottings. It is in the form of a collection of the lecture notes, whether Aristotle's own notes for his lectures or notes taken by a student in a course of lectures. So, being a collection of lecture notes, it is very brief, very condensed, and it needs ample expansion and explanation. Students, although the text of Poetics is elliptical in expression, but it is coherent and complete on some topics. and those very topics form the Aristotle's theory of poetry, which we are to study in the Poetics. And this book Poetics is translated in various languages. It is still widely read and accepted by the modern critics also. This historical value of this text lies in the fact that it is the earliest and above all most authoritative discussion on the art of poetry in general and on the tragedy in particular. Actually, Poetics gives us a systematic approach to begin with studying the nature of poetry, poetic process, forms of poetry, the source of pleasure in poetry, and so on. In nutshell, we can say Poetics familiarizes us with what poetry is and how poetry takes its shape and what are the different forms of poetry and what is the chief function of poetry. There is one more thing comes into the scene, that being a collection of notes, though at a time this text is fragmentary and it seems to be less connected, less organized, but it presents before us a consistent theory which we are to study in our coming lectures in detail. So, all the contents of this text are which are about the theory of poetry are divided into 26 chapters, and these 26 chapters can be broadly classified in this way. The chapter 1 to 4 deal with Aristotle's theory of poetry and the theory of imitation as an important part of poetic process, and chapter 6th to 19th they deal with tragedy as highest form of poetry. Chapters 20th to 23rd they talk about the language of poetry, they talk about the poetic diction in detail. Then chapter 24th and 25th they talk about the two forms of poetry on the basis of contents, one is tragedy and another is epic. In the last chapter 26th it is in the form of a response to the objections of the contemporary critics against poetry. So, students, this great text, this landmark text in the history of literary criticism, which is generally described as an answer to Plato's views on poetry, is actually a foundation course for us as the students of literary criticism to know, to learn how to begin with analyzing a work of art, a piece of poem or a play or a story. So, we will talk about all the aspects of Aristotle's poetic theory in our coming lectures. Thank you.